There you go. So what I did, okay, we were like talking about a client. Sorry, I have to tell them now. So we were talking about a client that we did assessment, but since he was not part of the booking, and I'm fully booked at the moment, and so I had spare time, so it was urgent. What happened is that the entities are stopping him from sleeping. 3 days now, he couldn't sleep, and they put something on his chakra, and they attached some stuff on his right body. So people are like, he keep on hearing voices and everything. So I have my uh, things that I noticed, like my conclusions, but I cannot disclose it yet because he didn't allow it yet. Because doctor patient, doctor patient. Anyway,
I get
so
it.
yeah, so confidentiality. So what I did is that I took what's on his crown chakra, put it into stasis field, like put barriers on it. I assigned to angels to watch over him so that whatever he's channeling won't be interrupting his sleep, and it protects him and his astral body when he sleep, because the problem is that he couldn't log off. In other terms, like, because when you sleep you log off, right? Your astral body flies. Now you log in while by waking up, but now the problem is he couldn't log off. It's like his connection to go out is disconnected. It's like how you couldn't astral because you are not used to it. But if you are used to getting out of your body, like when you sleep, now those entities cut it. So, and they put something in the crown chakra. So I put a stasis field on it, like how I grab an entity, I just throw it in the stasis field. Then I leave it there, so until I examine what it does, what I can do with it, interrogate it. So something like a sealable container per se.
Holding.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
holding cell or quarantine area, something like that. So that's how I
Yeah.
sometimes piece things up. I just grab it, put it there, grab it, put it there. Then I supplement it so that it doesn't interrupt him, or because it's like a bullet, right? You cannot just take it out and let it bleed. So at least take it out, put it in a container, check what's in it. It might have poison. Then at least put a bandage so it doesn't bleed until you can do the surgery to close the wound. So something like that. So so that's what happened with
Interesting.
that client. So I think it took me 15 minutes to investigate what was going on, and we just have to book on another session to totally fix it, hopefully in one just setting, in just one sitting per se. And I think that's it for that guy. So so
I think I was meant to hear that.
so what I will be discussing today is the probably part of that one, because it came into my attention that people can just start when they start accessing their gifts. They started doing it right away without proper safety procedures. Well, if you are a being of light, you are safe because they are afraid of your light. But only if you know how to use your light, right? People people will put stuck like swords at me with what I'm about to say, but you don't need barriers. And Michael will always give you a barrier initially, but like he always say, energy is indestructible. They will deflect it, and it will just floats away. Whenever it goes, get recycled by to source, and it's an energy. So when you are called light worker, it means you work with light. That means your light is more stronger than the usual where you work with. That's why they call you light worker. So if you cast multiple barriers to protect yourself, that means you're hiding your light. And what I'm trying to say is what Michael showed me is that they won't affect you, the light, because you have a light, and the dark entities won't affect you. But the difference is that you have energy here coming in, although they are not for your highest best good, but you're a light worker, you can transmute it. And by transmuting it, okay, they want me to go back a little bit. Procedures. They said I'm going off topic. Okay, let's go backwards. Let's talk about the barrier later. So when you do a reading, akashic, psychic surgery, any type of healing or psychic session, you clear your space. You sage whatever your modality is. You sage, you clear your crystal, whatever you feel like, but you have to clear your space. For me, I just invoke like that. What I did is I create what I call a session bubble, like an ICU on everyone participating, which is always gonna be invoked, even if this is watched in a replay. It will still invoke that bubble. Now that bubble is like an ICU where everything is sterile and you can work on it. That means there is no external factors that will be able to hamper or sabotage your work, like pendulum and or card reading, so that you don't channel trickster guides, right? So you have to program your safety bubble or your session bubble or your safety modality before you start your session. And that will eat energy. So you have to set it at what I will teach about barrier later. It's connected to that one because this is a part of a barrier, but instead of a barrier deflecting, it's just creating your holding space so that you can work without interference and your team is in there without interference, without sabotage and everything. So when you create that space, clear space, you do your reading, or sometimes when I do pendulum, when I have crystal pendulum, but since some of you may have the ability to program crystals like I do, so I program mine to be auto clear and I amplify their vibration, and I casted some magic circles on my crystals that I own, and so they are auto clear. I can just keep on using them all the time without clearing them, or even letting them bathe in the sunshine or in the moonlight. I don't need that one because I put some spells on it. So I don't need to do that one. I'm lazy. So I just create this and automatic. There you go. So
I love that.
actually, these are breadcrumbs, and if you dig deep, you'll get something out of it that you can put into your modality. Now,
I'm all ready.
there you go. So when you read or you clear, sometimes before, when I don't set up my bubble, I throw trick questions on my pendulum and I wear them. My pendulum is technically my necklace. It's a dragon, amethyst. Yeah. There you go. It's a dragon hugging an amethyst.
Oh, I love that.
So I throw some trick questions on it, and sometimes if I don't like it, I shove some dense light on it, and it I ask again, are you still that one? Then he corrects his swing. And that's how I start, because I told it to behave in a way that I wanted to. And if he doesn't behave, that means I'm channeling something else. Then I wrote a laundry list of programs so that I don't channel all those beings anymore, which is another topic for another session of this. Now I'm psychic, and now what? So once you finish your reading, depends on what your reading is about. If it's Akashic, you have to close the Akashic records. If your pendulum, you have to clear your pendulum, especially if you're working different chakras and everything, or your cards, you cleared it and you close your bubble. So that it doesn't drain you, because you keep it on, you get tired. It's like how you create your bubble before you sleep or when you wake up. The more it's only active when you're paying attention.
Mm.
And if you believe that it's always active, it will drain your energy. And by the end of the day, you're not sure why you're drained. So that's one of the problems of the barriers that I had to deal with before, because I have many barriers. And yeah, I will expand on it, but let me see what is, okay. Hold on, you're saying something. Okay, so any questions about the session? Because you close it, then you end the bubble. Any questions so far?
So you said that I could set that up to be automatic, so that when I'm paying attention, it's on, and when I'm not, then it's automatically off. So I could set, when I'm programming my container, then I could set it before the session container. Can I program, like, so you said at the beginning I could program that containment, right? And so could I then not program it to automatically turn off with, I don't know, when I'm done the session, like, or some sort of cue, right? Or like you're saying, even like that.
But you can even say, when the session is done, shut down, collapse, something like that. So that's the most, you already got your answer. So when you have the session, then just say collapse on your own. So that's kind of how you program it. But you have to always remember it now. Unless you can burn that into your memory, then that's how will it behaves. So you can program it. As long as you can remember the program, it will behave that way. Now,
I got it.
Now, let's talk about barriers. So one of the barriers is what we call, hold on. You don't want to talk about barriers. Converters first. Okay, let's start. This is my second psychic surgery session. Okay, let's do this. If you consent for this psychic surgery, say yes only for the highest, best good of all. Before you say yes, hear what I have to explain. Hold on. Let me ask your higher self for authority. Yes. I will explain it. And if your vessel agrees, then let's start. So just if you agree to this psychic surgery, and I will explain what it does. I call it a Sustenance Converter. This converter is a specific spell I created when I'm trying to make everything I eat vibrate higher, high vibrational food. And to the point I evolved it to this skill, which is my finished product. But my word of caution is that don't use this as an excuse for you to neglect or start consuming not good for you, because as long as you are not what do you call this, you have free will, and that free will bypasses this one. But as long as you can negotiate, then you will be able to get away with it. I'm just kidding, but depends on your situation, right? If you couldn't avoid it, then it's there. What a sustenance converter is like, everything your body absorbs, eat, breathe, skin absorb, blood vessel you got cut, it got in contact with something. Everything that your body absorbs or consumes for sustenance or get exposed to will be broken down into its neutral form, and it will transmute it into beneficial form, and it will not affect you. Let's say you're breathing air right now and they're spraying some chemtrail or chemical trail to some. You breathe that in, heavy metal. What your body takes in, breaks those down, turn them into neutral nanoparticles, change them into something that your body can digest beneficially, and consume them. The only drawback I think that this skill will have is that it consumes energy, especially if you're trying to eat something which is heavily not natural. Like you're eating processed foods, right? But you couldn't avoid it, and your body's hungry and you couldn't avoid it. So it takes some energy because he's converting it, but to the beneficial part. And sometimes the drawback of this skill is that, to the point, what I had mine done is that I have weak lungs before. It made me cough for a few weeks, like 3 weeks. And when I asked, what did you do? Why am I coughing? Then he said, he's cleansing something and he's trying to rebuild the lungs. I was like, okay, cool. So he's rebuilding as well. So he have a chance that he will rebuild something as he transmute it, because it's beneficial. Breathing, anything that you soak in your water, but the only thing that overrides this one is your free will. You know it's harmful for you, but you still do it, overrides. So it really takes energy. Like Larry said, it really takes energy to digest bad stuff. Now, so if you consent for this converter, I'm not sure if Larry, I installed one to you already, but what I do is I will pull a sliver of your energy, weave it with energy from the galaxy, and create this converter on your whole body, because it covers skin, your nose, everything, your tract, your lungs, your digestive system, your everything. So why I need to pull from your energy, so that it doesn't reject it when I create it, because it's like blood, right? Blood transfusion. It doesn't match, it will be rejected by your system. If it's made out of your energy, that means it's yours. So it's permanent until you disable it. When you don't want it and you want to create your own, just say disable, dismantle. It will go back into a neutral form. Then you can just say become abundance, become relationship, become wealth. So that's another function when you can have your own. And so if you consent for this healing, that I just have to mention it because it's important for your higher self to mention what is gonna be the work to be done for it to totally work. You want to explain that one? Okay. This is what I want. The commercial. When you heal someone and when they consent on it, but the problem is their higher self you didn't ask them for consent, and they think it's not for the vessel's highest best good, they will deflect it. So now you're curious, why did I heal him? It didn't work. So you have to consent. Either or you start with the vessel first, then the higher self, or you higher self first, or then the vessel. So you have to consult both because even though your intentions are good, it may not be for him at the moment. It may be for him for another timeline, but not right now. So it's not your fault if you want to do something, but if he's for learning and he signed up for it, then sometimes his higher self says no. Like what happened to this client I had before this meeting. Like I was like saying, can I just do it right now? Higher self, no. Keep on saying big no, but a small yes. But so that I asked, what is the big no and what is the small yes? They said, big no, don't fix it right now. Small yes, at least do something that he can rest. So I did the next procedure so he can rest and still put me the time with, so put everything else. I know the stasis where I throw all the junk that I grabbed on him is taking my energy, but I can manage my energy, so don't bother about it. So as long as you can manage your energy, you can throw spells and suspend them and hold them until the next session, or release them back if you couldn't handle it. So I did that before. I did release some before, and yeah, I have to pull it back out because I didn't set the holding cell in a different manner. So let's start. Clear the space, balance everything. Activating all of your nodes, energy nodes, accessing your energy centers, connecting to your all chakra nodes, creating multiple stargates, connecting to all energies that may not, so that you don't get ascension symptoms. Pulling some of your energy. Thank you. Weaving, recreating some parts of your energy, creating new pathways, creating converters on all of your body, installing I will try to pump up some of your energy so that it flows through the converter. If your heart started racing, it's normal. It will just for a few seconds. And sorry. Working fine. Everything. Sealed. Disconnect. So the only the only thing I observe with converters, especially this Sustenance Converter that I just installed to you guys, is that you might fart a lot. Fart a lot because he's trying to release everything he couldn't convert, or poop a lot. I'm not sure if what is the more or less term, but on the first initial period, you may get coughing. You may get stinky sweats. Your body will try to release all the toxins that he couldn't convert. You will have diarrhea, puking, and everything. But that is your body trying to eject stuff that he couldn't handle. And I'm sorry if you're sometimes smoking, you may not probably be able to handle smoking anymore, because if you feel like your lungs are like how you feel on your first puff of smoke, It's like you're not used to it. So those are the symptoms. And I hope you like and it serve you. So if you don't need it anymore, just say dismantle, disable, or neutralize. It will disassemble itself and just throw it in whatever energy you want, absorb it. It's free energy. And it's your energy because I pulled it from you, so you can take it back. And okay. Okay. You want me to explain it a different one? So I talked about okay. You don't want me to talk about that one. I just lost my microphone. Okay, I won't. Okay, what's next on the agenda? Elementals. Now, when in your daily life, you can connect with the elementals to help you with your clearing or your daily life. Like when you're cutting wood on your renovation, you can just ask, hey, wood, can you soften up a bit? Then you can even ask the air, hey, can you blow the sawdust so it doesn't go into my eye? So I already called two elementals there. So when I'm cutting wood, you see the wood sawdust, it just goes like this. When I'm driving, I'm calling air, fire, gravity, time, all at the same time. And sometimes I drive quite 15 kilometers in just 1 minute, something like that. So, and sometimes it's windy. I put a barrier so your car goes on a, what do you call this, traction per se. So most of the time I use elementals in clearing when I'm doing shower, washing the hands. And when I do that, I call all elementals because when the shower water hits you, it already passed through the soil. Electricity went into it through the metal or iron pipes. Air was aerated with your shower. Water's there technically. Heater, which is fire, is already imbuing it to make it warm enough for you. So that's already 5 elementals. Call them, can you clear my energy and supplement it with what I need, or heal me, accelerate everything. And they will love to do that, especially if you are deeply connected with nature or even the elementals, if you can talk to them. If you don't have any elemental contacts, like if you live in city and there's no bodies of water, just let me know. I will summon a elemental and throw them at you. I'm just kidding, but yeah, I could summon elementals and create them. And it's part of your journey that when you master elemental magic, you can technically create elementals as a summon. Not from nature, although they're artificial, they're still elementals per se. And it's a summon. Breadcrumb. There you go. So if you don't have elemental, let me know. I will send a full team for you to talk to, like earth, time, space, star, rock, crystal, whatever elemental you may need. And I hope they will provide you the initial attunements that you may need to start talking or interacting with elementals. So that's that, right? Yeah, I covered it. So that's what they said. They especially when you're washing something, especially with water, because your body is made out of water, planet is made out of majority is water. So water is pretty much everywhere and touches every element, from the moisture in the sky to the thunder going down. So water can merge it all together in this realm. So that's one good element that you can start working with. No wonder Jesus walks on water. Sorry, I'm ruffling feathers. Any question about it?
I do have a question. So I guess like I just want to explain something I've been like working on doing is I focus on the clouds above me, and then I try to use my own energy to clear the clouds. And it takes a lot of my energy to do that. And sometimes it doesn't work. And sometimes it does. So I feel like what you're saying is that I don't need to use my energy to accomplish that task, that I would call in air and water and move the clouds that way and clear the clouds.
Only for the highest best good of all.
And best good of all, yes.
Because if they're like, I was discussing this with, I can't remember who, but I was discussing it with the meeting before this one on another live. So I was talking about, I'm talking to the elements. I said, hey, Summer, it was hot last time. How about we maintain it at 22 degrees Celsius this year? So my whole summer, 22 Celsius, except for 5 days where it went 35 degrees Celsius, but it's fine. It's just 5 days, but the whole year. Then I started talking to winter. I said, hey, can you like make it minus 10 Celsius? Then they were like, the entities who are in the, what do you call this? The north, which is used to cold regions, they said, no, it will affect our our environment, our lifestyle. It will affect us. And I said, how about we reduce it? Make it warmer just so that it doesn't affect negatively everyone and every entity or every elemental. And they said, agree. So I'm sure I'm not be shoveling heavy winter this year. So I'm happy about it. So because they agreed. So, and that's in my timeline, right? So I talked to
It's in
them.
my timeline too, where I'm at. We usually have so much snow right now. It's a beautiful November.
I know.
Thank you.
So, and sometimes.
Yes, yeah, I get that. I've been trying to do it on the unnatural cloud formations or a cloud-like formations. In like I had this, it was like a rainbow stream above my house, and it didn't feel good. Like even though like rainbow look, I don't know, the shape is generally I don't know, good. It just felt wrong and artificial and all the things. But I was driving at the time and I'm like, well, I can't totally focus on you and focus. But I just got to keep that in mind for the highest and best good of all, right? Because like we don't want that cascade effect that you were talking about. Yeah.
The only thing is that when I do this, I do when you said you do cloud clearing, right? When I see chemtrails sometimes and I'm not in the mood to deal with that one, I cast huge magic circles that affects the whole planet per se, and I'm gonna plunge it down over to the other edge of the earth and pull it up. So I'm doing a double clear, but I'm only doing it in my timeline because I don't want to affect the other timelines. Because if I do it on the other timelines, then I'm like tired for just clearing the clouds, right? So, and if only for your highest best good, right? So, but that one I'm just clearing the harmful stuff. So I'm transmuting it to neutral. So I'm not clearing it, I'm just transmuting it. So any more questions about that one before we move on? You can ask elementals to help you with it, so you have workers to help with how you manage this energy, because it's their forte. If their forte is the wind and the cloud, then you call on necessary elementals or entities governing that one so you don't spend too much your energy, then they will gladly help, especially if it's for the highest best good of everyone within the vicinity of what you're trying to do, right? So I hope that answered that question. So what is next on my lap? Okay. Let me just confirm if I'm allowed to talk about it. I think I talk about it in another group, but so I'm supposed I am. So let's see. The timeline that I saw that I'm trying to reach, why I am working hard in this timeline. The timeline that I'm trying to jump onto is where there's no more cars. Grid workers, as us, is our full-time job. How? Grid workers creating ley lines, creating jump ports. People who are adapt to portal energy creates and maintains portals to use to transport, like Harry Potter, teleportation technology. Grid workers, portal workers. Elemental workers who are attuned with their elemental magic can shape, create, manipulate elements, soil, fire, water, everything. So you become a construction worker per se, but not in a sense that you don't like it because you love playing with elements. There you go. That's your forte. Those who have good heart, they become therapists or teachers. People who are more knowledgeable become teachers to the new age, and everything is run by sometimes crystals. There is still vehicles, but it's interstellar. And the interstellar vehicle that I have created, I have to say it or it will become a lie, and I don't want to affect my timeline, is because I can jump through galaxies. I can use stars as waypoints. And since I can jump there alone, I can't carry anyone. I built this ship. It's sponsored by Pleiadians who gave me the supply to build it. And it helps me take people as a passenger. I drive it. It supplements me with the energy so I can teleport with it. You see, I'm like, now I'm like the engine. So that's why there's no engine, because I'm the one who's creating the spells to teleport it. It supplies me with the energy to go to one constellation to another, in just like that, because thought is the fastest thing in this realm. It's not speed of light, it's thought. You want to go to that place, done. Easy. That's how they taught me how to create the navigation system of this ship. And that's how I designed that ship, so that people who can teleport, like mostly Pleiadians, have the ability to zap into one place. I think everyone have it, but different modalities. Like I've seen some avian, they can transport from bodies of water to another bodies of water. So you have to create a big pool of water here for your ship to even go here. So it depends on which technology are you playing with. But now, because I can jump there without condition, but I need the star map. Some people read frequencies, see the frequencies, see energy, whatever, depends on what their modality is. But I need a star map to jump onto something. So that's how I created that craft. Now, if you're an avian, you need bodies of water there, and you can just link up what your water signature, then you can jump your ship from here to there. Same thing, different modalities. So don't be limited on what I'm saying. You have your own truth, you create your own technology, because somewhere along the line, those lines, we will merge, and all of our truths will merge as well. And I know that I'm starting to go close to that timeline, because in this timeline, we are starting to discover weird technologies, like a metal bending just getting into cold. It becomes soft, it bends, then it hits the hot, it springs so hard, like very strong, like a big spring, and it just keep on flipping between two different temperature water, and it's free energy. It's like a piston of energy, and it keep on turning like this. And we have algae who eats carbon monoxide already here, and different stuff. And it's starting. So I'm trying to, I told my team, I want that timeline. I'm going to that timeline. If there's more a best timeline, then good, but I want to go on that timeline because I've seen the portals, I've seen the technology, I've seen my house, I've seen my vehicle, and it's fun. I loved it and I'm excited about it. And sorry for the people who hates AI, but AI will do all of the 3D jobs, and don't limit them about it. Don't lose it because your job will be different. Every species have their own limitation. On my timeline, we evolve our DNA way too much that we can live 900 years. And or if you're tired of it, you can just say, I'm done, I'm expiring. And you revert back to your 30-year-old self. You stop aging after that. It's like how you see the Beijing cancer thing, it keeps on shrinking. Power of the thought. That's why as well, when they test you for Galactic Federation, they test your DNA first. How far did you go in evolving your DNA? Because in this planet, the only limitation of everything one can you do is you're looking at it. You. If you limit yourself, your belief, no, that's impossible. There you go, limitation. So you can have that, I won't have it. So good luck on your timeline. I'm going that timeline and I'm gonna enjoy. If you don't want to enjoy, or if you don't enjoy this timeline, so learn the process on how to jump and make peace with this timeline and learn everything that you have so you close this lesson so you can finish all your lessons and just relax in the end. It's gonna be hard. And it's gonna be very hard. And I jumped that very many times. And I cannot expand on it, but it's very hard and it's sometimes brutal, violent. And I went to it. You just have to make the first step, but don't just resign on your job, something like that. It's serving you. Just the things you'll have to know with your discernment, which one is not serving you anymore, and be thankful with which ones are serving you at the moment until we get that timeline, because right now we are in a complete renovation and everything is accelerating and I'm the one who's also pushing it. So come on, I'm pushing it as well. I remember Amber saying that, the spikes are going up. I said, I know. The human resonance, the spikes are going up. I know. I said, I know. I just couldn't say what I'm talking to the Galactic Federation. I was like, pushing stuff to go accelerate forward. So they're pushing me to change, accelerate forward. So my tests are also getting harder. So everyone have their own suffering. So you're not alone. I'm there too. I have my own piece of my pizza and I'm still getting there. I'm still getting there. I'm still in the process. So I hope you conquer your main timeline so you can keep on jumping multiple ones. And let's see what else is there. Time heal. Do you want me to do time heal or chakra merge? We don't only have 13 minutes. Chakra merge, they're saying. Some of you will now be jumping to higher timelines and higher dimensions. Congratulations. Chakra merge is when you have 7 chakras in 3D realm, right? Then you get like 15 or 16 on 4D, 15 above in 6D. Then up to the point that you get 50 chakra nodes on higher realms, like 50 above, 50 plus to 1000 plus, unlimited chakras. So you couldn't count. So you're still bothered with your 7 chakras. You have 50 more in the near future. What I did with one of my clients before is I merged all her chakras into one. And I call it source chakra because it's technically source. Merge. It's a psychic surgery. Like I told you, Angelus, I'm gonna say it now. Don't interrupt my microphone. Sorry, they're like, okay. Angelus Regalia, angelic tools. Create tools, angelic tools. That's why I call the collective Angelus Regalia, because we provide tools out of the norm. Because you have converter, you will probably try to transmute it like this and weave it, and it will take you time. And all your light language won't be just this, done, right? So that shortens it up. So they exposed me. That's why this course, I was creating this course so that everything is just like this, and you have an elaborate system to create your modality. That's why I was creating this course, and this is just samples of what you will learn. And this is just probably, I was telling Diana about it, this is just one of the 750 things and counting that I've learned. And there's more. And I couldn't say more about it because it's part of the course. But I'll give it for free on a monthly basis, so that, but as you can see, you're getting overloaded already with just one session. So that's a part of it. Now, I'm just asking authorities. Okay, for those of you who will be able to attain this, what I call source chakra, because all your meridians is one. And I set it to auto balance, auto activate, and auto stuff. All sorts of stuff. Auto, it's like it unblockable per se. That's why I set it and merged them all into one. But you still have to work on it will help you gauge your emotions, your mentality, and everything, because all your chakras is into one. It will still be unbalanced at times, but it's not as bad. But it joins all of your minor and major chakras, per even meridians, all your energetic center into one node, like one big central sun. And I put it in your heart, but it's a different one. So some of you will be authorized because your higher selves, some of them are not allowed. And I'm asking if, when I'm saying this, which ones are gonna be allowed? Then they said, if it's your time, you can revisit this video and it will be the same thing. You can ask your spirit team when you're ready. But if you're ready, I don't need a sliver of energy on your body. I just need your consent to merge all of your chakras, so that when you go higher realms, you don't need to keep on thinking about your other 50 chakras or 130 chakras or 1000 chakras and how to balance them and balance them one by one. You don't need to do that. It's auto balance, automatic. So you see how much modification I did to my system with what I'm teaching right now. So my system is pretty much, I'm not sure if I could even follow conventional laws. So anyway, so if you do consent, only for the highest best good of all, I will merge all of your current chakras, even the one who's sleeping. I will activate them, merge them into one, and it may activate all of your other sleeping chakras, meridians, whatever your energy center is, it will be one. And if you consent for this psychic surgery, let's begin. Flashing with you all energies that needed for your merging, collecting all of your energy center, remapping everything, compressing to one, reinstall, activating what is necessary chakras to be activated at the moment, setting auto balance, unblockable, amplify, now I'm gonna flood you with energy. So though you don't get ascension symptoms, accelerating to completion, complete. Done. So don't abuse your one heart chakra, your source chakra in my term, because you still need to do some energy hygienes. So you have to go still distribute it, because like I said, it's still as energy center, but you still have to flow it through your body, like exercising, going to nature, grounding, but it's more resistant to blockages and more resistant to being unbalanced. You will notice it when you suddenly catch your emotions because of your emotional chakra. You're like, oh, la, la, wait, is that me? You will notice that kind of thing, or someone gets angry at you, you're about to react, not respond, react. And you're like, wait, what's the lesson here? Then you're like, oh, that's fine. You will notice those changes. Those are fine. By that time, you will notice that 555 on my clock. See, there you go. Changes are happening already. So you will notice those. Those are normal. You are a captain of your ship. So I hope this served you well. And oh, looks like I forgot the barrier thingy. We still have 4 minutes. I think we still have time, maybe. Slow down time. Let's compress this time a little bit. Okay. So the barrier, don't make it a barrier. Make it a converter. Like what I did with your Sustenance Converter for the energies around you, or what, because you are working with, you can manage your own energy, but you couldn't work with other people, right? So instead of creating a barrier, create a converter. Take that energy. I'm not sure how you will make it. Take that energy, transmute it to beneficial, absorb it. 1, 2. If you couldn't absorb and transmute it, hold it, transmute it into something beneficial to the sender, reflect it back to what he needs. Because even though he or she is hurting you, then that means he's also hurting. So you send it back, it may fix him, then it stops. So you reflect back. That's the second one. Third one, you neutralize it. You don't reflect it back, because it's time to end the ping pong energy, because the more you process it, it becomes ping pong. The longer it takes, the more energy you waste. Now, when you do that, you neutralize it. When some people throw it back at source, then source is like, why are you throwing back? Just transmute it again, then absorb it. Since you already neutralize it, then just transmit it back, then absorb it. Go back to step number 1. absorb it because you already neutralize it. So get angry at me. Come on, throw some energy at me. I'm open. I'm welcome. And I'll put it into my abundance and thank you in advance. So if some of you are angry, thank you in advance. So, so that's my barrier. It's not technically a barrier, it's a converter. Because a barrier deflects stuff, waste energy. No. How long can you hold that converter up? See, it's just 3 minutes. There you go. So to hold something up, you have to set it as a reactive. When I say reactive, when you say passive, it's always on. When you say active, it's manual. I heal you, manual. Passive, I'm always lucky. Reactive, when an attack came in, the converter grabs it, transmits it, eats it, goes back into sleeping mode. Low energy usage, reactive. So any questions with that one? I compressed it so in 4 minutes. So that's a big breadcrumbs. So if you guys don't have anything to, that's the start, because that is just the tip of the iceberg of what I was compiling. And like I said, it's just, yeah. They just take off the image out of my mind and I couldn't even speak about it. Okay, so I got stopped. Okay, so I think I covered majority of it and you got some cool new stuff to play with. I hope you like your one source chakra. I was about to say one heart chakra, which is not a bad name as well. So in your converter, don't abuse it. It will eat energy. And like I said, thank you for having me. We reach our 1 hour. I'll be checking if there's any more questions. If none, 1 minute, I'll wait for questions. If none, I'll end this call. Let's see. 20 minutes. See you next month if that happens for the next segment of the lessons. So like I said, that course is gonna be built and be offered, but I will still do this free lives monthly to expand on, so that it still accelerates you, although it may not be able to accelerate you as fast as you avail that one, but still you'll get some big breadcrumbs here and you can expand on it. So I hope that helps, and happy playing with your systems. Just don't let yourself go boom and go blow up with what you ever have. Just be careful and always ask if it's for the highest good of everyone and whatever you do, so that you are clear on that one and you don't get karmic debt. So thank you for having me, and till next month again.